Welcome back to Trucking California with Velox 18. We are going to just make our early morning delivery here. We're up before the sunrise. Pretty dark out, pretty dang dark out. The sun will be peeking up from that direction pretty soon here. But for now, and that's just because time change. It's not that early, but it feels super early because, hey, we changed time last week. We're on daylight savings time now. So we're going to go make this delivery in Lathrop over at Superstore Industries. Save Mart Distribution Center, and when we do that, we're going to talk the numbers for this week, our revenue numbers, our mileage, all that good stuff. We'll check out the rate per mile since that is a big topic of conversation given the price of fuel right now. So we want to make sure we're staying profitable, make sure that all the miles we're doing are making sense, because if you're burning more fuel, then you are bringing in money. It's a bad equation. You don't make money. So I don't run the truck for fun. I run the truck for my business. So I got to make sure that I am profitable. So we'll talk about that. And shoot, hey, maybe I'll kind of lay out how I run my business right here. Yeah, that's probably what we'll do next after we roll the music. But I got to say it. I got to say it loud. Say it loud for the people in the back. We gotta let you guys know what I'm all about, because we got a lot of new subscribers, we got a lot of new visitors to the channel, and we got a lot of people that, well, they just don't know who I am and what I'm all about. So it's time to let you know. It's time to let you know, because because it just kind of feels like y'all don't know me, because some of the comments you guys leave, man, it's weird. Y'all are weird. But first, we're gonna roll the music. So let's go. The sun is up, day has broken, and we are trucking right along. I mean, it's been about 30 minutes and the sun's already up. That's just how it rolls right now. But we got about 10 miles to go, or 10 minutes to go, probably like 7 miles to go. But just wanted to kind of answer some of the comments I've gotten. I've gotten a lot of comments about how much I like to be home. I've gotten a lot of comments about not working on the weekends, trucking on the weekends, and I've even gotten comments about, you know, like where I should go to get better rates, how I should run the truck to do better than I do, which would include going, you know, further away from home and doing all of that. So I just figured I'd kind of lay out why I do things the way I do things. And that would answer a lot of the questions, or a lot of the suggestions that I've been given, or criticisms even. Not that I feel the need to answer them, but I do feel like once people understand who I am and where I'm coming from, that you know, they kind of get to know me a little better, and it's not as they're not as confused by my decision making. So first off, I don't truck for YouTube content. Like, I'm actually trying to run a trucking business. I just started a year ago. I'm trying to build up a reputation in trucking and in you know, my area. So that's, I don't just look for places to go to get content. I definitely, like, it's kind of boring content when you keep running to the same customer, from the same customer to the same receiver nonstop. It kind of gets, you know, a little monotonous on the videos, but I try and keep them spicy a little bit, try and spice them up a little bit, put a little bit of my flair in them, try and keep you guys laughing a little bit, just being goofy and acting silly. So hopefully, you know, you guys understand that it's better for me, it's better for my trucking company if I run the same routes every time, even though it's not as good for YouTube, and I'm willing to admit that. Secondly, you know, I want to build a trucking business, but I don't want to sacrifice my family to do that. So the trucking business that I have, and especially in the market that I'm in with running reefer in California, there's enough work within a day's drive of where I'm located, and with backhauls coming back that pay pretty well, you know, that I think that it's better it's better for me, business-wise, to just stay, where the money is, and where I know I can build relationships with the same shippers, same receivers, same shippers, same receivers, and start to kind of get familiar with these lanes. And not only that, but I bought this truck with a voucher from the state of California that requires me to do 75% of my miles in the state of California. So I do need to keep most of my miles in California. So all of that plays into the fact that it's good business for me to stay in California, and mostly, and stay real close, go to Vegas, go to St. George, maybe Phoenix, maybe Reno, and just stay within a short drive. I know there are other lanes that pay better, and I appreciate you guys pointing that out to me, but I also have to keep the mileage in mind, and I also need to keep my family in mind. There's a lot of like hardcore truckers that have kind of terrible home lives, because trucking is hard, man, and your kids and your wife, they need your presence, you being there more than they need your presence, your gifts. A lot of guys, they prioritize making money for their family above being there for their family. I had a friend who he was working all the time, working just too much, and wasn't investing in his relationships with his family. And he said everything was good, and that his dad was always around, because his dad was a what we call a borracho. So he never worked. His dad was always around, even though he was drunk, so he wasn't really there, he wasn't really present. But nevertheless, his dad was always around, but they never had any money, and his family suffered because of his dad's drinking. So he was feeling like, I'm doing so much better than my dad did, but he was overcompensating for what his dad did. The failures of his dad, he was overcompensating for those, and was working too much, and lo and behold, it broke his family apart. A couple years after I had that conversation with him, that he needed to focus more on, at home, and that it wasn't just about making money for his family. He ended up with broken relationships at home. That's all I want to say about that. So anyway, that's how trucking is too, man. Like, it burns out your relationships. It's hard on your family. It's hard on your wife. And it's hard for your kids. Your kids need you more than they need what you can buy for them. And that's just true, like 100% across the board, 100% of the time. But especially if you're leaving out to go trucking, like, make it a point to just be so present when you get there. It's hard as a truck driver. When you get home, you just like want to like sleep or lay around. Like, I don't know, there's this like road fatigue that happens, and you got to try to overcome that to spend time with the people who have been waiting for you to get home that whole time, the whole time you've been gone. So I definitely make decisions to try to maximize the time and the quality of the time that I spend with my kids, and I don't even think I do well at it. So, you could criticize me for not trucking enough, and I will criticize myself for trucking too much and not being present enough in my children's lives, and not being supportive enough for my wife as she raises 4 kids and runs a household on her own, basically, most of the time. So I take your criticisms with a grain of salt, because I'm aware of what's truly like helpful to a family is presence, is being there. And so that's going to be the way that I measure the success of my business, is if I can provide for my family and give my kids opportunities that I've only dreamt of. I want to do that, but I don't want to sacrifice my relationship with them in order to do that. That seems very counterproductive, to make a whole bunch of money for the sake of providing my children opportunities for higher education, for career paths that they may want to go into, whatever, and then not and then not actually having that relationship with them. Like, man, it's so much more important to be in their lives every day and you know, be their dad. So anyway, so that's my spiel. That's why I make all the decisions I make. That is the direction that I take my business every time. I choose what's best for my family in the long run. And I still want to make money. I still want to build my business. I still have a desire to grow, but it can't be at the expense of my family. So that is my spiel, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. We're just down the street here from our delivery, and so we'll go over here, we'll get checked in, and then shoot, we'll start talking numbers once we get in the dock. How about that? Or maybe we'll do it once we get back to the yard. I don't know. We'll see. You guys will have to wait and see, but we're gonna get over here right now, and I gotta cut this off because this has been a long clip. Yeah, almost 9 minutes of me rambling on. So, you're welcome. All right, we went in there and checked in. They say it's supposed to rain today, so it looks like it. Looks like we're gonna rain, so we'll just get back over into the truck and wait for them to call me with the door. Let's see how long this takes. It's supposed to rain today. And I think they're gonna be right this time. I think it is gonna rain. All right, so our Saturday appointment, we got here about 7:15, maybe 7:20, something like that. We checked in up front. They assigned us a door about 20 minutes later, and we got in the door about 15 minutes later because you have to drive around the back side of the building and check in and all that kind of stuff. But once we did all that and got docked in, it's 8 o'clock, and they already started unloading me. I got a 9:30 appointment, and they're unloading me at 8 o'clock. This is gonna be a good day, guys. A good day. Good day. I like it. I like it. All right, while we wait, I figured I'd give you guys something to look at besides my fat head. It's kind of storming. It was windier just a little bit ago, so the wind's kind of dying down actually. But anyway, give you guys something to look at. Nevertheless, maybe it'll start raining while we're doing this. I don't know. But they're unloading me right now. But I wanted to talk through the numbers. The weekly review of revenue. We did $9,200. We did 2,650 miles, which comes out to $347 per mile. So, and that's all miles, actual miles. That is deadhead included. That actually includes the 40 miles, 40 plus miles I have to do from here to get back to my yard. So I've included all miles from when I started the truck Monday morning until I'm going to park it on Saturday. All the miles, $347 per mile. That includes the deadhead miles from St. George back to Henderson twice this week to pick up loads. But hey, the revenue is decent. I'll take $9,000 a week, especially during these slow times. I'll take that every week. I'm cool with that. My break-even point, if you guys remember, I kind of went through this a couple weeks ago on like that little spreadsheet I had. Comes out to $276 a mile. So we're doing way above what the 276 mile is. And actually, like, if you think about it, my break-even is even better than that. I mean, it's lower than that, because that's based on a 10,000 mile month, which I think is kind of my average, 10,000 miles per month. But this week, if we were to extrapolate this week over the course of a year, it would be more like an 11,500 mile month. So I have been, in March, by the time if I do like a week, a monthly review for the whole month of March, I think you'll see that I probably will have done over 11,000 miles for the month, which if you break that down versus my expenses, comes out to about a $2.50 per mile break-even point. So anything above that, so $3.47 a mile is almost $1 better than what my break-even point is. So, and it's even better than that. I kind of didn't want to get into this, but now I'm kind of going down that road, so let's do it. But basically, I do my expenses on like I call a 4 weeks of revenue equal to like a month. So like all my bills are paid once a month, right? Like, well, most of my bills. My fuel is paid weekly. and everything else is paid on a monthly or yearly basis. Like, truck payments once a month, trailer payments once a month, insurance payment is once a month for 10 months out of the year. So everything is kind of set up to be in these 12 monthly installments per year. Well, I'm figuring everything on basically like a 4-week month, but there's only 1 month out of the year that's actually 4 weeks, and that's February, 28 days. So typically, every quarter, right, you have 4 quarters in the year, January through March, give or take, and then you got April to June, and then you got July to September, and then you've got October, November, December. That's Q4. So 4 quarters in a year. Now each of those is 13 weeks. Now 13 weeks. So if I did 4 weeks, it equals a month, and then 3 months equals a quarter. That's only 12 weeks. But in a real quarter, in like business terms, there's 13 weeks per quarter. So I have an extra week each quarter of revenue, but my bills, I figure, correctly, because they only come out 3 times during that quarter. So maybe that's confusing, but that's why, like, businesses typically, they don't run they don't compute things by the week. They actually call them periods. So they'll do like quarter 1, period 1 is the first 7 days of the year. Quarter 1, period 2, the next 7 days. And that way they have 13 periods in each quarter, and they can kind of break up their budgeting, in each period. But that's like, I'm not that smart. I just keep things simple. And in the end, as long as you're, kind of underestimating on your expenses, overestimating on your expenses and underestimating on your income for the year, you'll make your decisions and they'll work out for you. Like, you'll actually be doing better than what you figured. So that's kind of how I figure it. I can do things a simpler way, and then err on the side of caution rather than trying to get everything exact to the penny. And then if I make an error, which is fully possible, if I make an error, I don't want it to hurt. I want to give myself a little buffer. So that's how I give myself a buffer. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but basically there's 13 weeks in each quarter, and but you only pay your monthly bills 3 times in that quarter. So if you're doing a 4-week month, then each of your bills get paid over, you pay into it, because I divide my monthly bills by 4. So I'm paying a little bit each week towards those monthly payments. So that's why there's an extra week each 3 months. Each quarter there's an extra week of revenue where I don't have my fixed costs figured into that week. So it's kind of confusing probably to people, but it makes sense in my head. As with most things I do, it makes sense to me. But anyway, that's the little weekly breakdown. $3.47 a mile is doing me good by almost $1 a mile. And that's after I pay myself. So I pay myself, I pay all the bills, and the company itself is making $1 a mile extra, just profit that I can put back into the company, that I can set aside for weeks that I don't do this well, so that everything kind of evens out across the year. So that's what I'm doing. That's how I'm rocking this. So they're rocking and rolling the trailer. I think it's 8:30. I think we'll be out of here by like 9:30. I think I'll be out of here by my appointment time. I think that'd be cool. I'm excited for that. But anyway, I'll catch up with you guys when they get me done. All right, it's almost 10:30. It's like 10:15, 10:20, something like that. I'm still getting unloaded. I don't know. Like, this guy's unloading like a pallet every like 10 minutes, maybe 15. So I don't know if he's like unloading it off the truck and then like driving it back to Vegas where I got it from, and then coming back to unload me again. I don't know. It seems like he's driving really far in between each pallet, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's counting as he goes. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. It's a mystery. inside that warehouse sometimes. Never know what's going on in there. But yeah, we've been in the dock for almost 2.5 hours and still not unloaded. Still have a red light. He's still going in and out of the trailer every once in a while. But anyway, I was sitting here scrolling my phone like I do sometimes, and I saw a quote that's attributed to Bruce Lee. Now, granted, it's an internet quote. I never know. Sometimes people just like have a quote themselves, but they feel like it'll give it more oomph if they attribute it to someone famous. So then they attribute it to someone famous, but that person never said it. So I don't know if Bruce Lee actually said this or not, but there was a quote from Bruce Lee that said, instead of buying your children all the things you never had, you should teach your children all the things you were never taught. Dang. And that goes back to what I was talking about this morning, man. Like, we have such a bad mindset when it comes to like trying to like give stuff to our kids. Like, stuff just matters so little. It's so insignificant. Stuff doesn't matter. Physical crap is just Jesus said, why lay up treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy? Lay up treasures in heaven. And I would echo that and even apply that to our earthly relationships here with our families. Why lay up treasures, you know, in your children's rooms and in your garage, when, you know, where it's all gonna burn in the end, and you know, your legacy will be dictated not by how much money you leave behind or how many toys you leave behind or how many things you bought your kids, but how well you invested in those relationships. So anyway, I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but I saw that quote and I was like, man, that applies. So anyway, hopefully this doesn't take too much longer. Oh yeah, you guys see there's a Northern Refrigerated truck over there? Michael, I don't think that's your brother. I don't think it is. Michael Morton, he's a subscriber. Says his brother works for Northern Refrigerated, so I always keep an eye out for him, but there's a lot of Northern Refrigerated trucks, so I've yet to see him on the road. Anyway, I'll let you guys know when we get the heck out of here. I don't know what time it's gonna be. All right, it is 12 o'clock, noon. Yes, you heard me correct. Just about 5 hours to get offloaded on a Saturday morning here at Superstore Industries in Lathrop, California. So I knew what I was getting into when I got this load. It offloaded on Saturday morning instead of being a Monday morning delivery. So it was worth it for me to come over here. You know, got me you know, $2,000 to come back from Henderson. So with the deadhead included, it's like, you know, $2 something a mile, just under $3 a mile, like I forget what it was. But you guys heard what I did for the week, so it you know, made my week you know, a lot better. I'm looking for a load for next Friday, and man, I can't find jack crap. There's one load on the board for TQL that picks up in Riverside and delivers up here somewhere like Modesto or Stockton, and they're offering 15 on it right now, 1,500, and so, you know, that would put me down. Because it'd actually be more miles than this one is, you know, to go out of my way to go into Riverside to pick it up. And so my next week might be worse than this one. And I got weekend plans I gotta make sure I'm home for. So anyway, we're gonna come over here, we're gonna check out. I gotta hop out and open the door for this guy so that I can get out of here. And Lucy has a softball game, but it started right now, and I'm about 45 minutes away from the house. I don't know. I might just drive the truck straight over there and park it on the street out by the field. There's kind of room for it, so I might just try to do that. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm gonna get the heck out of here though. All right, made my way through all the country roads out here. To Denair, California, just outside Turlock. It's where my daughter Lucy's softball game is, and I believe I'll be able to park right up here on the shoulder, right by the field, and be able to watch her game, at least the end of it. They kind of messed up my what I was really planning to do. Let's see. No parking anywhere signs. A little bit of a low tree. Says no parking, but you know what? I gotta watch my daughter play softball. Sorry. All right, so this is where we're gonna stop, and we're gonna go catch a little bit of this game, and so this is where you guys get shut off. Love you guys. Peace out. See you on the next load.